Hi everybody, Alize Carrere here. I'm one of the co-hosts of a brand new series that has just been launched in partnership with Lindblad Expeditions and National Geographic Education called Modern Explorer. I host this series alongside my friend and Lindblad naturalist, Tom Ritchie, who many of you perhaps know or who have traveled with in the past. And we are super excited to be able to share this with you as an educational tool for children, grandchildren, anybody you know who is an educator and who's looking for resources for their students. We hope that this will be a really valuable tool for people to understand what exploration is looking like today and how that matches up against the explorers of the past. So this season of the series, this is our first season, is set in South Georgia and the Falkland Islands. Tom and I traipse about throughout these landscapes and ask a lot of questions about what some of the early explorers, like Ernest Shackleton, for example, might have seen in a place like this almost 100 years ago, or even earlier than that. And the idea for the series is to ask these questions about how has exploration changed from the days of Ernest Shackleton to today, and what that looks like ethically. What does that look like in terms of the tools and the technology they had access to? And really, more plainly, what does it even mean to be an explorer today when so much of our world feels mapped and trodden? The series is 9 episodes total. The idea with these segments is that each one focuses on a different topic, more or less, or animal. So we look at king penguins and elephant seals and seabirds. And then we also look at questions around exploration. We go to retrace some of the steps of Ernest Shackleton's crossing of South Georgia and really try to ignite a conversation about what it means to be an explorer in the 21st century today. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch. We hope you enjoy. We really hope that this will inspire people to get out, to care, and to really think about our future in new and exciting ways as we explore this world. Thank you.
I'm Alize Carrere, and I'm a National Geographic explorer. I'm here in Florida to meet up with my friend Tom before we head down to the icy waters of the South Atlantic. It's going to be the adventure of a lifetime. On this expedition, we'll see glaciers and giant albatross.
Look at the wings on this guy.
As we hang with the locals.
You want to be in a selfie?
Look at him! He's totally hamming it up. We'll retrace the steps of famous explorers.
I wonder if Shackleton and his guys admired the beauty of the places they were struggling through here.
And discover the darker side of our past.
It could run down the fastest whales.
And that would throw a spear.
Yeah, that would penetrate the body of the whale.
As we look to the future of exploration. I'm Alize Carrere, an environmental anthropologist and National Geographic explorer. This is my friend Tom Ritchie, a naturalist who's spent decades in the field. Together, we'll discover what it means to be a modern explorer. Before we head south, I'm meeting up with Tom in his backyard, Central Florida.
Hey, Alize!
Hey, Tom!
It's great to see you. Oh, man.
Oh, you too!
Well, welcome to Florida. Let's go see what we can find.
All right.
Tom has been traveling the world since the 70s, and he's probably been more places than anyone I know. But his hometown might be his favorite.
You know, you don't have to go to faraway exotic places to find neat stuff. I mean, look right around us here. Look at these live oak trees. These trees were planted in 1883, and They make a complete tunnel over the road. They're incredibly strong. In fact, they used to use these curved limbs for the ribs of ships. You know, the USS Constitution, or Old Ironsides, was made from these trees. And it surprised the heck out of the British when they bounced cannonballs off the sides of it during the War of 1812.
Hence the name Old Ironside.
We can do some exploring in my backyard now. I'm going to show you one of my favorite spots.
Cool. But to get there, we'll have to walk through the swamps of Florida.
Walk slowly because we'll be stepping into holes and it'll get deeper than you think. It's so wild, and it's always fun to explore in something like this. You don't know what you're going to find.
But this is a different type of habitat, isn't it?
Cypress swamps like this create an environment for a diversity of wildlife, including birds, river otters, and alligators.
One of the reasons I wanted to bring you out here was to talk about how explorers can come to a new place they know nothing about and can still survive. Finding water is probably the most important thing in exploring. In Florida, any explorer would know that when you find black water, tea-colored water, it's pretty safe to drink. And it is tea, essentially, because all the leaf litter has had the tannins leached out of it. And so this is very acidic. It's not going to have the same microbes and bacteria. So I have many times been driven to drinking black water out of rivers and swamps like this.
After getting a taste of the life of an early explorer, we finally made it to Tom's hidden world.
Okay, well, this is the main thing around here that I wanted to show you. It's my museum, or as the Victorians used to call it, my cabinet of wonders.
This is incredible.
I have my whole collection here. This stuff is from all over the world, and it's anthropological specimens, biological specimens, just about everything you can imagine. This is a baboon. It's got the dog-like snout with the canine.
Whoa, look at the fangs on that thing. It's the type of collection a researcher like me wouldn't start today. Exploration has evolved from collecting to documenting. But Tom's catalog of objects captures the imagination and can take you to another time and place.
Most everything's labeled. I'll get around to labeling everything eventually.
Tom has a few more amazing items to show me. Shells!
This is called a miraculous Thatcheria. Isn't that truly miraculous?
Yeah.
These are called Venus comb murexes.
What?
And this is probably one of the most fragile, delicate, beautiful shells imaginable.
That looks like a skeleton of a fish or something.
It does, yes. It's just a wonderful shell, isn't it?
These cases are curated so beautifully. They're almost like analog Instagram. And before you laugh, let me explain. These shells are laid out so carefully because Tom wants to share them. Put a little box around it, add a filter, and it starts to look familiar. And while Tom tells a story,
These guys don't live in coral reefs.
I put a caption.
A wonderful shell, isn't it?
For me, it re-emphasizes that who we are as explorers hasn't changed. But our methodology is still evolving.
So I'm going to show you my prized possession. This is the Epiornis egg.
This is the largest egg that's ever been found. It's an Epiornis, or elephant bird's egg, a species that was only native to Madagascar. And here's the kicker. Only a handful of these eggs have ever been found intact.
If you promise to be careful,
Wow.
I'll let you hold it. Just don't break it because it's worth more than my house.
Probably worth more than the two of us together. Every elephant bird lived here, and they were massive. This is Tom for scale. But unfortunately, we're never going to see them together.
You know, we used to say they were extinct by 1,500 years ago, and it's very possible they might have lasted up into the 17th century.
That's just wild. I mean, you feel like you're holding a time capsule in your hand.
Yes. It's bigger than any dinosaur egg. No other
Really?
egg ever found by paleontologists came anywhere near the size of this thing.
It's in complete perfect form.
Yeah, it's perfect.
That's unbelievable. It's incredible how easily an object can transport you to another time or place. Our tools are different, our technology is different, and the landscape is changing. Exploring means something very different from the past. But there will always be room to observe and protect the wonder of our world. And that's what makes a modern explorer.